Hello, cello players. Let's talk about the parts and the names of your instrument. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. The very top of your cello is called the scroll. The next piece down are the pegs. There are 4 pegs on your cello. Pegs are used when I need to make a large adjustment when tuning. For you, when you start out, when you think about pegs, I need you to think about don't touch. This is only for the teachers. So we have the scroll and then the pegs. Where the pegs come together in the middle, this is called the peg box. After the peg box, you have a long piece of black wood. That is where your fingers are going to go, so they call that the fingerboard. Behind the fingerboard is the neck, and the neck is where your thumb is going to go. So if we start at the top, we have scroll, pegs, don't touch, peg box, the fingerboard, and then the neck. Attached to the neck are called bouts. Because this is the top of the cello, they call these the upper bouts. As we go towards the bottom, this is called the C bout. Kind of looks like the letter C. And the bottom part is called the lower bout. So we have the upper bout, the C bout, and the lower bout. When we go back to the front of our instrument, we have 4 strings. What hold the strings up off of our cello is a thing called the bridge. This is the bridge right here. A cool thing about our bridge is that it is not glued to our instrument. It's not nailed to the instrument. It can move around. It's only held in place by the pressure the strings provide. It's important to know that because that also means this piece can move pretty easily. If you put your cello in the cello bag and you throw it in the back seat of the car and you're not careful, if you bump this part of your cello, then the bridge can move. If you throw it in the back of mom and dad's truck on your way home one day, and the bridge could actually fall down. It's not the end of the world. It's not that hard to fix, but it is something that either myself or the music shop will have to fix. It's not something you or mom or dad will be able to fix. This is called the bridge. As we work our way down, this black piece right here, it goes from the strings to the end. This is called the tail piece. Attached to the tail piece are little screws, and these screws are called fine tuners. Your cello should have 4 fine tuners. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fine tuners are used for making small adjustments when Mr. T is tuning. Again, these are like the pegs. You guys shouldn't touch these yet. One day, but not yet. So we have fine tuners, and then this is called the tail piece. On the bottom of your cello, you have a thing called the end pin. The end pin is what's going to help us hold our cello properly, and then there's a screw that loosens and tightens it. So if I loosen it, then the end pin goes in, and it can also go out. You need to be careful. If you pull too hard, the end pin will come all the way out of your cello, and then it could be hard to get back in. The same hand, when you're done playing your cello and you put it back, you don't want to slam it back into your cello, because if that end pin goes inside of your cello, then it can be very hard to take out. It may even have to go to a shop and have them take apart your cello. So you have to be careful when you put your end pin in. Let's do those names one more time. Scroll, peg, don't touch, peg box, fingerboard, neck, upper bout, C bout, lower bout. On the front, we have our 4 strings. This is the bridge, fine tuners, don't touch, tail piece, and then our end pin that we're going to be careful with taking it in and taking it out. Let's go over the parts of our bow. The pointy end is called the tip. If you look very closely at yours, you'll see there's a little piece of white plastic. That piece is very important because it helps the hair stay on. We need to be careful because if you hit it too hard, that piece of plastic will break. So the tip of our bow is very fragile. The top is called the stick, and the bottom is called the hair. The hair comes from a special horse. What we need to know about the hair is that if you touch it with your fingers, then the dirt and the oils from your fingers or hand sanitizer can get on the bow hair and it can mess up the bow hair. So you never want to touch the bow hair. The next part is the winding. Yours may have winding, it may not, it doesn't matter. The next part is the grip. Everybody should have a grip or a pad on their cello bow. As you go towards the end, you have a screw. The screw should turn left and right. And then the bottom part is called the frog. I don't know why, it's just called the frog. At the end of the frog, where the hair comes in, there's a silver piece. That silver piece is called the ferrule. Now you talk about tightening and loosening your bow. Every day to play your cello, you have to have your bow tight. And then when you're done playing your cello, you have to loosen your bow. So here's how we do that. You hold your bow straight out in front of you with the hair turned up. And we're going to start by turning our bow 3 times, the screw 3 times to the right. And if you can look, the stick still dips down towards the floor just a little bit. I can also pass my first finger through there without touching. That's how I know that my bow hair is properly tightened. If I turn it too much, then the stick is going to be straight. And that's bad. All right, hopefully you can see how they're strict. And then my finger nowhere even comes near the hair when I do it like that. Also, if the bow hair is too loose, that's not good. So here you can see where the bow hair is too loose, where it's almost touching the stick. Now let's talk about the names of your strings. If you'll hold your cellos so that you're looking at it, the string on the right, that's your highest string, and the string on the left, that's your lowest string. So as we play, I've come up with these really cool sentences to help us remember the names of the strings. The first string is A, so I'm going to call that alligator. The next string is D, so I'm going to say drinks. The next string is G, so I'm going to say Gatorade. And then the last string is C. I'm going to say cold. Alligators drink Gatorade.